AITAH for cutting off all communication with my in-laws after my 6-year-old died. I, 35F, am married to B, 40M, and we've been together for 12 years. We have 2 children together. My daughter, for at the time, was discovered to have a tumor in her abdomen after experiencing 14 months of intermittent leg pain. The doctors couldn't find the source of the pain until they found the tumor. We were scared for our daughter. I was so afraid, I shut everyone out except my mom and husband. My mom drove 8 hours to support us while we went through the diagnostic process. My husband asked his parents to come support him. They said no because they had to watch SL's kids. For context, my in-laws live 5 hours away, and SL lives 25 minutes from me. At this time, doctors believed the tumor was benign, so they scheduled the resection surgery for 2 months later. All summer, the in-laws couldn't see our kids because they were always watching SL's kids since their dad wasn't pulling his weight. Finally, the surgery date came. My mom came again to support us through this huge surgery. The tumor was so large that it took up all of the free space on the right side of her abdomen. The doctor came out of surgery and told us that he could only remove 60% of the tumor. He believed it looked cancerous, but we had to wait for the pathology report. A few days later, it came back positive for cancer, and my daughter had to go through a very intensive treatment plan. She needed 5 rounds of chemo, 2 stem cell rescues, and 6 rounds of immunotherapy. My kids were always close to their grandparents. It was hard when we had to isolate ourselves to protect my daughter from getting sick during treatment. She had a central line, and all fevers were an automatic trip to the emergency room. My ML offered to help us once, but she backed out because she couldn't handle wearing a mask for 8 hours while we worked. In an effort to protect my daughter, we asked that when they come to visit, they only see my kids to prevent SL's kids from giving grandma and grandpa a virus that they could bring back to my daughter. All throughout treatment, my daughter cried that she missed grandma. They decided that if they couldn't see both sets of grandkids, then they didn't want to come. We tried to compromise and asked them to split their visit, first couple of days with my sick child, and then the last days of their stay at my SL's house. They just chose to stay away instead. During the stem cell rescues, we had to isolate my daughter since they literally fried her bone marrow with chemo. She didn't have an immune system for a few weeks, so it was important to protect her. It was limited to my mom and me throughout the 2 stem cell rescues and transplants. When my daughter was finally able to be around people again, they still didn't come around. My daughter was fine for a few months, but then she started having leg pain again. I feared the cancer was back. In November, they found the cancer had spread everywhere. She was in so much pain. She just wanted to be with family and see her grandma. Grandma only came when her sister wanted to meet my daughter. They saw her for a few days after Christmas. My daughter was rapidly deteriorating, and she was in so much pain. The ICU doctor told me my daughter was going to pass away and that I should let family know. I called all those closest to my daughter to say goodbye. They didn't come. My daughter passed away in January. She fought so hard, but she couldn't beat the cancer. I am hurt and angry with them because they hurt my daughter. She may not have realized that grandma and grandpa were not prioritizing their sick grandchild, but I did. She cried so much about missing grandma. They knew she was sick and that she had a high probability of not surviving this. Now, 5 months after my daughter's death, my husband wants me to ignore all that has happened for him and for my son. He tried to talk to his parents, but they just got defensive. He wants me to not address any of this with them, so I have chosen to cut them out of my life in every way I can. They are not welcome in my home anymore. I will not interfere with the relationship that my husband or son have with them, but I will not do anything to foster it. That's my husband's responsibility now. Now my husband is angry with me and feels that I'm being unreasonable. So, AITAH?